So hello, my name's Rob. This is Cat Rabbit Scale Model Studios, and today I'm going to be taking some time out to talk about the OG Warhammer, more specifically Wood Elves. If like me, I actually joined this hobby on the 29th of December 2017, so less than 5 years. If you've ever been interested in Warhammer Fantasy but maybe didn't know what it was about, this video is more than likely for you. If you do like this video, do consider giving it a like or a subscribe or a thumbs up, or just put a nice little comment. And if you are interested in supporting the channel, there are ways that I will leave in the description below. But without further ado, let's get started and let's have a really good look at these slices of history that I've managed to get on my travels. So as you can see, I've managed to get a box of original Wood Elves Citadel miniatures. These would have, I think, retailed for about £5 in the UK. They are all completely static. I don't know whether you would have got build instructions with them. I've only managed to get hold of this box, but as you can see, they're all monopose on these little square bases at an angle. The foot really, I don't know why it annoys me so much, it just shoots out. He's got one long foot, but I think these models are really charming. As I said, they're all identical sculpts and they would all just kind of sit together. I think there was supposed to be 8 in this box. I lucked out a little bit here as a person who was selling them on eBay, and I did pick it up a little while ago. Obviously had some extra ones and they were in the box, but I probably will paint some of these up. I think I got 11 in the box, so I'll probably maybe paint the odd one up. I've got a little paint set, stick around for that, it'll be later in the video. Yeah, I don't know what it is about these. I think these are a lovely, charming little sculpts. You know, they're so disproportionate, but they just ooze so much kind of character. As I said as well, like, you know, monopose. I know a lot of people, they complain about monopose. I remember hearing about the new Orc Boys for 40k when they came out. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're taking away my, you know, give me these monopose ones." And I was thinking, but still, leaps and bounds, you know, what we have now as opposed to what we had back then, quite clearly. So that's how the majority of your units would have come in these little kind of boxes. One thing I also did manage to get my hands on as well is what used to be called a supplement, which is, as we know today, our battle tomes. Now, obviously, the Wood Elves don't exist anymore. The most inline faction you've got, if you will, are your Sylvaneth, where some units obviously did make the translation to Ageofsigmar after the end times. If you're not sure what the end times was, that was the you know, the big end of Warhammer Fantasy before it evolved into Ageofsigmar. Now you can see here you've got this fantastic kind of arranged scenes that, you know, you used to have in and out through your White Dwarf. And one thing that also does I love seeing is it actually tells you who the supplement was written by. You know, you've got your artwork by Jean Blanche, Wayne England, Mark Gibbons. You know, there's your sources reference, and it's peppered throughout with this absolute stunning artwork. You know, everything's quite nicely laid out. It's almost like coming across a magical tome, if you will, compared to what we have now, you know, with this being kind of like the oldest book I've managed to get my hands on. You know, everything from the origins of the Wood Elves to the realm of Lorraine, you know, the history of it all. I think, you know, peppered with these kind of iconography bits of artwork. The dragon, I love the dragon so much. You will get to see that in a bit as well. I think it's a fantastic book. I really do. I kind of wish Games Workshop would head more back to this type of format, with the kind of almost like it's handwritten. You know, it could have been a secret tome, but there it is. I mean, look at this. Obviously, dragons really we only have available with the Stormcast Eternals these days and things. But what a piece that is. But you kind of had these little heavy metal showcases, and I like that GW have also started to put in these sections into the battle tomes. I love looking at the army showcases. Also like the fact that they give you the banners if you wanted to kind of add the banners. But here is a massive army shot of absolutely everything. And we can see here, you know, you've got your Glade Guard, your Dryads, you've got your War Dancers, Tree Men, that's Durfu there. You've got these fantastic eagle things that are flying. I love it. I will get back to the Tree Men because I have got one of them to show you in a bit as well towards the back end of the video. Getting back to the banners and things like that and stuff that's in this book as well. If there's, you know, you're doing an old world project or you just want to kind of add some old world flavour to your units, let me know. And I'll do my best to, I do have access to a very good scanner, and I'm sure I can find a way of scanning the page you need so you can make a copy of that yourself. But here you can see, you know, maps of their realms. I love stuff like this. I'm glad Warhammer is starting to include more maps into their battle tomes and stuff. I love knowing the lay of the land. It makes it feel a bit more believable in my eyes. As we saw there, there was the Fallen Tree Man template. You've got a Chaos Dragon there, I believe. And the Eagles. Why aren't the Eagles a thing? They're absolutely amazing. You know, what a fantastic set of miniatures. But once again, you know, you can see this artwork here, and it's just peppered throughout this book. This stunning artwork. I mean, there's our boy Orion there, and it really is just a fantastic piece of artwork, as opposed to these. I think it's so radically different to what we've got. It really stands out a lot more, you know, as we can see here. Here we've got your equipment list, your regiments, special characters. There's our girl Lariel, used with her big butterfly wings. It's definitely it was definitely a, you know, a different kettle of fish back then. It really was. One thing I loved, which you're going to see in a minute, was here. This is a sample army. So what it actually did is, rather than having battle tomes where you would have battalions and stuff, it would just tell you what you had and who they were, and you would get name characters from it and stuff like that. And you can see that the evolution from this to battalions and how it kind of worked out. But I do think this is an exceptional piece of Games Workshop literature, if you will. I believe this book is from 1996, so it is a mere 27 years old. I'm not going to go too many into details, but it is 10 years younger than myself. But as you can see, it showcases in black and white, which I love, save on the ink. Chaos Dwarves with their big hats. You know, you had Warhammer Fantasy, all the other supplements you could get. You know, a bit of advertisement in the back of the box there. There were some little ideas about collecting your Wood Elf army. You know, your roster sheets that you would obviously write everything down with your abilities and stuff. A little showcase of the range that they had there. And as you can see, some more like Glade Guard and stuff like that. Archers, it shows you a little bit about, you know, how to assemble them. And as you can see, those are the ones in the box that we got hold of for this video, which I think is just so lovely. I do wish War Dancers were coming back. We did see them with Scapes, I think, Scapes the Wild Hunt, the Underworld's Warband, which I would love to see come back in a really big way for the Sylvaneth. And at the end here, you've got these fantastic army shots. I will put up some high-res pictures at the end of these, you know, some key points in this battle tome. And that I love stuff like this. The trees, the way it all looks, you know, that iconic river scenery. It really is a slice of, you know, nearly 30 years ago. So that's the Wood Elf supplement, battle tome, if you will. If there is anything you wanted to kind of read through, or you were just interested in history, do let me know. As I said, and I will try my best to get them over to you. I was also lucky to pick up a Glade Guard. Now, I believe this is German. I did check it out, and I do believe it is a Glade Guard. Comes with the plastic horse. The spear is a little bit bent. As you can see, the plastic horse was on a sprue. This is brand new. It's never been opened, never touched the light of day. Very, very lucky to get hold of this. I've been building this up over 6 months or so, trying to get these things at a right price. Here you can see some Dryads. Now this is pack D. There was A, B, C, D, I think all the way to F. And what you would do is you would just get 2 odd models in there. So you could also mix and match them and kind of add them as you needed to. Which I think is a fantastic idea of just having an odd 2 miniatures on their own. Once again, just bundles and bundles of charm. Absolutely, fantastic. But as I said, I did get hold of a Wood Elf Treeman. Now this has got G written on it, but I couldn't see too many variants. I do try and do my research on stuff like this, and I have taken an interest more in Warhammer Fantasy, as it's something that I feel that I guess I missed out on that era of GW by being a relatively new player. As I said, when I came into the hobby, Primaris were the boys, and I think they're fantastic. And Stormcast were my guys. Stormcast was my first army coming into the hobby. My first box set was I believe it was called the Storm of Sigmar. It cost about £20. You got 3 Liberators, 2 Retributors, some Chaos guys. But I never had anything. Now I did as well a little while ago. I managed to pick up Orion. £12. Look at that. £12 for a big hero. Absolutely amazing. Stay tuned, because I did paint him up. I did his base in the Goblin Green and everything, and I will show him at the end of the video if you're interested in seeing him. One thing that I also did get, you saw this in my OG Necromunda unboxing video, was this Citadel colour paint set. Now I wanted to have a really good look at this and kind of inspect the paints. As you can see here, you've got a little painting guide with that fantastic kind of laid out scenery. And I did just take some of the plastic miniatures out. As you can see here, there is I believe this was a Chaos Warrior, just in time for the new Chaos release. And here you can see one I painted about a year ago that I managed to get my hands on using the new paints. So it just goes to show how far the paint system has come along and what we're actually able to achieve now with, very basic techniques and colours, as opposed to, this chap. Now, once again, it's important to know that I didn't paint any of this. This was donated to me. So the models in here are quite a few years old. But here you can see there's a little 40k Gretchen. There's a Space Marine with eyes as well, which I think is just, I love so much. And there is a little lizard man. I believe this was a Saurus Warrior. Once again, looks quite different to what we've got now. But more importantly, the paints. Now, I'm only missing the white and the snakebite leather. Now here you can see that's where your brush would have gone, and it's got a built-in palette to it. I did check with the other paints beforehand, and as you can see, they're all still good. So I've given them all a really, really good shake and just added a small agitator to each of them. I've given them a really, really kind of good mix up. What I will probably do is paint up one of the archer guys, trying to use these original colours. It's important to note that on the back of the leaflet that came with this, there is a painting guide, and I am going to have to substitute some colours. I have got a little video on that coming out in the near future, so do stay tuned for that. But this guy will probably get an old style paint job, just to see what we can do with him. But in closing, this is kind of, what it was like when you started to build armies and stuff. You would have your box of units, you would have your supplement, you would go and buy your blister packs of your odd models and add them as you needed to, and kind of fill out those ranks. I do believe in Warhammer armies you had to take certain, you couldn't just, like we can today, I'm going to make an army just full of ogres, just ogre balls, that's it, gluttons, nothing else. You kind of had to have, if you were going to use Orion, he had to have like a certain set of units around him, so it almost kind of like told you what you needed, if that will. But there we go. Do stick around for the high res pictures coming up, but that I will just say good ta-ta now. If you had fond memories of Warhammer Fantasy, or what else was your army, do let me know in the comments below. And once again, if you do like this video, please do consider subscribing or just giving it a thumbs up. I'll speak to you all in the comments below. God bless, take care, and I'll see you all next time.